The smallest flowering plant is here. The smallest flowering plant in the this is Olphia. Okay, Olphia, that is almost a microscopic, uh, submicroscopic, we can say. This is the angiosperm, right? And next question is, the tallest tree species is the smallest one, and next is the tallest. Which one is the tallest here?
Option 3, sir.
Option 3. Okay. Option 3, this is correct. The sequoia, Sequoia sempervirens. Sequoia sempervirens. Okay, this is redwood tree. Tree in California. Okay, so this one, Sequoia sempervirens, this is the tallest, that is tallest among angiosperm and gymnosperm. All. So this is tallest. These three, Pinus, Cedrus, and Sequoia, these three are gymnosperm. Eucalyptus is angiosperm. Eucalyptus is the tallest among the angiosperm. This is the tallest among angiosperm, and Sequoia tallest among gymnosperm, but if we include both angiosperm and gymnosperm, then Sequoia is the so this one eucalyptus is, if we compare among all the with in the plant kingdom, then eucalyptus come next to sequoia. Okay, that is the second tallest among all, but in the angiosperm, this is the tallest, and sequoia among. Third one also again in gymnosperms only. Another species of sequoia. Okay. This the 8-celled female gametophyte. Female gametophyte is 8-celled female gametophyte. This one is in bryophyte, it is a multicellular structure gametophyte because this is the dominant phase in the life cycle. In pteridophyte also gametophyte, though is it not the dominant phase, but it has independent life and it is submicroscopic and it is multicellular. In gymnosperms also female gametophyte is multicellular, many-celled female gametophyte. In case of angiosperms, this is the correct one, that in angiosperm female gametophyte is 8-celled. It is of course that when the female gametophyte is formed, it is of course sometimes there is a debate on this whether it is 8-celled or less in number. This is egg, and in the egg apparatus synergid 3, this cell, this 3 cell and this 3 cell antipodal and the egg apparatus, they are definitely they are cells. But what happened, two more nuclei, that polar nuclei, it it is this polar nuclei, one from this side, one from this side comes, and these two usually remain as nucleus. Some say no, it is cell. So others says no, it is not cell. They remain as nuclei. So then it is initially it is 8 nucleated initially before this fuse. It is 8 nucleated. Out of the 8 nucleus, the 6 become cells. 6 become cells, and 2 they ultimately join, fuse, and this is now the secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus, not the secondary cell. So that 6 cell, 1 nucleus, 7. It is when it is mature. That is mature means the polar nuclei also they have fused. So 6 cell and 1 nucleus. This one, of course, it is double. Now it is not, this one is not gametophytic character, this is a sporophytic character. But anyway, here is the question that 8-celled they have told. So this is angiosperms only, nowhere else it is. In bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, it is more than 8 cell. It is a multicellular structure. Next one, embryo sac consists of 1 egg cell, 2 synergids, 3 antipodals, and 2 polar nuclei. Which one? All of the above. What will be the answer? Hello? Embryo sac consists of, female gametophyte consists of, say the
Option 4, sir.
option 4, yes, because in the female gametophyte, everything is there. There is one egg cell is there, 2 synergids, that this forms these two together form the egg apparatus, and these 3 antipodals are there and 2 polar nuclei. So all of these are present in embryo sac. Say embryo sac is equivalent to, that is the female gametophyte. So these things you should remember. This is female gametophyte actually, but as within this female gametophyte, the embryo will develop. So this sac-like gametophyte is known as embryo sac. Come. Egg apparatus of angiosperm consists of, What is there in egg apparatus? One synergids and two egg cell, two synergids and one egg cell, one central cell, two polar nuclei, three antipodals, one egg cell, two polar nuclei, three antipodals. So which one? Egg apparatus consists of in egg apparatus two synergids and one egg cell. Here is which of the following is incorrect with respect to angiosperms? Which is incorrect? Which one? Endosperm triploid, megaspore diploid, pollen grain haploid, synergids haploid. Which one is not correct? Answer quickly.
Option 2, sir.
Option 2. Yes, this is not correct because megaspores, spores are haploid. This should be haploid. So this one is not correct. All other pollen grains are haploid. Endosperm in angiosperm is normally triploid, and synergids they are haploid. A typical angiospermic embryo sac is usually, see here, a typical angiosperm, so we have just now we have talked, but you have to select your answer from this option only. Here we cannot go for the discussion. Okay. So embryo sac consists of 1 cell, 3 cell, 5 cell, and 7 cell.
Option 4, sir.
Option 4, it is 7 cell because that two polar nuclei they combine, join. Sometime it is known as central cell also. So those who believe in the cell structure, they says it is cell. So it is altogether 7, 8 nuclei and 7 cell. Next, a pollen tube in angiosperm carries 2 male gamete, 1 male gamete, 3 sperms, 4 sperms. How many male gametes a pollen tube
Option 1,
carries?
sir.
Yes.
Option 1.
Option 1, 2 male gamete. Each pollen grain produce 2 male gamete and 1 tube nucleus. One tube nucleus, one generative cells, of course, that is degenerated later on. So two male gametes, one it forms. In flowering plant, meiosis occur at the time of, at what time meiosis occur? In flowering plant, meiosis occur during the formation of bud, germination of seed, formation of root primordia, and formation of pollen grains.
Option 4, sir.
Yes, option 4. During, this is in plant in general, in plant, living the living algae, that is uniformly in bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm. the meiosis is sporogenic. Meiosis is sporogenic. That is, meiosis occur at the time of spore formation. Okay. So in angiosperm, that spore, here it is, the microspore. Pollen grains are microspore, and the pollen grains are produced within the anther. So meiosis occur within anther, and this is this one. This things of in plant, that the meiosis is sporogenic, that takes place during the formation of spores. And in case of male reproductive structure, it is the anther. Within that anther, microspores or the pollen grains are produced. So meiosis occur within the anther. And in female reproductive structure, that meiosis occur during the formation of megaspore, and the megaspore is formed within the ovule. Within ovule there is a nucellus, and within the nucellus develop megaspore mother cell. So megaspore mother cell and the microspore mother cell, they undergo meiosis to produce megaspore and microspore respectively. Okay. So next one is a double fertilization occurs among double fertilization. This is double fertilization. Hello, can you
Option
hear
3,
me?
sir.
Option
3.
3. Okay, this is option 3. Option 3. Next one, double fertilization is an unique character of all angiosperm. This is an unique character of angiosperms. Nowhere else double fertilization is seen. Next one is triple fusion. In angiosperm is fusion of second male gametes with
Option 1, sir.
after two polar nuclei or secondary nucleus. Option A. Option 1. Next question. In angiosperm, endosperm is It is haploid, diploid, triploid, or
Option, sir.
option 3.
3.
Option 3. So it is triploid. Normally it is triploid, but in different angiosperms it is more than triploid condition also it is there. But the normal, the common one is the triploid, because here two polar nuclei, two polar nuclei plus partition of the polar nuclei, the syncytial development of embryo. The fertilization of, see, endosperm develop from primary endosperm nucleus, and primary endosperm nucleus is formed from the fertilization of the two polar nuclei, and the two polar nuclei that structure it form, that is the secondary nucleus, or two polar, the fertilization of polar nuclei. So this is the beginning of the endosperm formation. Either we can say the fertilization of the polar nuclei or fertilization of secondary nucleus. Okay. Next is regarding the life cycle. Haplodiplontic life cycle is followed by which one?
Option 1, sir.
Option 1. Option 1. Haplodiplontic, bryophyte and pteridophyte. Okay. Next is the most of the algae show haplontic life cycle with an exception from here. In algae, the life cycle is haplontic or haplobiontic. Okay, haplontic life cycle. So, but some of the algae they show diplontic as well as haplodiplontic. So there is exception here. Which one has the exception?
Option 2, sir.
Option 2.
Two.
Yes, it is option 2. Option 2, Ictocarpus and Polysiphonia. They they have haplodiplontic life cycle. Haplodiplontic life cycle, and another one is Fucus that has a diplontic life cycle. Next one, The pattern of life cycle in fucus is that what just now I told. It is in fucus life cycle is in fucus the life cycle is like the seed plants. So this one is diplontic life cycle. Fucus is also a algae. Next is question number 17. In angiosperm, triple fusion result in the formation of
Option 4, sir.
primary endosperm nucleus. Yes, it is primary endosperm nucleus is the result of the triple fusion. This is also sometimes PEN. That is PEN, pen. Okay. Primary endosperm nucleus is the result of triple fusion that led to the formation of endosperm. Next is angiosperms have dominated the land flora primarily because of their now what we see that everywhere it is the angiosperm. Okay, they are the dominant vegetation, they are the dominant flora on this earth at present, and this is the age of angiosperm we call. The present age is age of angiosperm because the angiosperms have dominated. So what is that feature due to which they have dominated?
Option 4, sir.
Power of adaptability. Yes, it is the power of adaptability. One who has more capacity to adapt a change situation, they can survive better. So this angiosperms, they have highest power of adaptability, and so that's why they have occupied almost every type of habitat, and so they are surviving better than any other plant kingdom, any other plant groups. Okay, in gymnosperm, most of the gymnosperms are terrestrials only. Okay, they grow in on land, and they have mainly tree species in gymnosperm, but in angiosperm we can find herb, shrubs, trees. Within the herbs, there are climber, twiner, and they have a different type underground stem, above ground stem, different types of root, storage of the food material for future, and they can change their lifestyle wherever they grow. They can grow in water, they can grow on land, they can grow in under the shade, they can grow in a very high temperature in the desert, mm, in open sun. So all this type of adaptation, they are climber, they are epiphytes. Okay, epiphytes are there. but in them there is symbiotic relationship is there. So different types of modification we can see in the angiospermic plant, and these are their capacity of the adaptation. They are changing themselves according to the situation, according to the condition that they are facing, and that's why they are growing everywhere. And and another thing is, say like in the gymnosperm there is almost no vegetative reproduction. Reproduction is only sexual reproduction, and in that also, in gymnosperms, in sexual reproduction also, many of the plants mm, they are unisexual. Say like cycas, jingo, they are unisexual plants, and that's why in unisexual plants sexual reproduction is less in success, because they have to depend for some of the pollinating agent. Okay, that's why they cannot produce a lot of offsprings. But in case of angiosperms, what happened? Vegetative reproduction is plenty of vegetative reproduction. Those plants which cannot grow by sexual reproduction, they have very easy vegetative reproduction. Say, think about the banana plant. No, in banana plant there is no vegetative sexual reproduction. Flower etc. is there, but seed formation is not there. But they have very easy this vegetative reproduction. In see, in case of bamboo, though their life cycle is very long, it takes a long time to flower. But before flowering, before attaining that age, they reproduce vegetatively by their underground buds that come out. No, and wherever the bamboos they grow, you can see the bush is so thick. So this is they have a alternative method of reproduction also, and many of the angiospermic plants are self-pollinated and bisexual plants. So there is a lot of adaptation, and that's why the angiospermic plants are surviving better on this earth. Next one, question number 19. This is here a matching on the reproduction in the angiosperms, column 1 and column 2. Column 1, this is here the structure, and column 2 is the result. Okay, here a polar nuclei and male gamete, ovule, ovary, syngamy plus triple fusion, double fertilization, double fertilization, fruit, seeds, endosperm. So which one will match correctly?
Option 2, sir.
Option 4,
2.
2. Which
Yes,
one?
sir. Option 2, sir.
2. Option 2. A to D means polar nuclei with a male gamete that forms the primary endosperm nucleus and give rise to endosperm. Okay, ovule that ovules mature into seed. So B with C. B is with a small letter C, and ovary forms the fruit. So capital C with a small letter lowercase b, and syngamy plus triple fusion. This is known as double fertilization. Syngamy is, that is the egg plus a male gamete. This fertilization, which forms the zygote, this is known as syngamy. Okay. So syngamy plus triple fusion. Triple fusion is polar nuclei plus male gamete. That one. So these two together, this is triple fission and this one syngamy too. So one fertilization, another fertilization. So it is called the double fertilization. So D is A. Okay. Next is, in Haplantic life cycle, sporophytic generation is represented by. In Haplantic life cycle, sporophytic generation is represented by which one? Which option is correct? Haplantic life cycle sporophytic generation is represented by
Option 2, sir.
option 2. Haplantic life cycle. In haplantic life cycle, dominant phase is gametophyte. Is it? Haplantic life cycle, dominant phase is gametophyte. So in this case, sporophytic generation is very short, and this one is diploid zygote 2n, and in the haplontic life cycle there is zygotic meiosis. Okay, zygotic meiosis means meiosis takes place in the zygote. So zygote is the only cell that represent the sporophytic generation, and immediately the zygote undergo meiosis and produce haploid spores, and those haploid spores germinate to give rise the gametophyte. And the last question here: how many of the following organisms show haplodiplontic life cycle? How many? Here is some name of this given: the bryophyte, algae, gymnosperms. Okay, many name of the plant can be added. So how many? showing haplodiplontic life cycle. Quickly count it. First, you decide which one is haplodiplontic. See, haplodiplontic life cycle is we find where? In case of bryophyte and pteridophyte. Bryophyte and pteridophyte and some of the algae. So haplodiplontic life cycle is sphagnum is a moss, peat moss. So bryophyte, here it is haplodiplontic. Vol Volvox is algae. Here it is haplantic, eulothrix algae. Markensia is bryophyte. Polytrichum is bryophyte, a moss. Okay. Selaginella, a pteridophyte. So here also haplodiplontic. Pinus is gymnosperms. There it is, this is seed plant. There it is, seed plant is diplontic. Cedrus also is a gymnosperm. It is diplontic life cycle. The Ectocarpus and Polysyphonia, they are algae, but they shows a haplodiplontic life cycle. So altogether it is 6. 6 life cycles, 6 having haplodiplontic life cycle. Okay, so this is the end today, and question we finish. Now if you have any question from the angiosperms, that is the plant kingdom. All right, plant kingdom is finished. Now in the next class, we will have miscellaneous questions. That a question from entire, that is classification and plant kingdom. Okay. So this will be the mixed type of question here, as we have done. All the character or in the question, it is all from one group of plant. But in the miscellaneous one, there will be mixture. In the same question, maybe bryophyte, algae, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm, maybe all mixed type of characters. With that, the question will be there. Comparison, etc., differences between different groups. Any question? Otherwise, I will end it early, because there is nothing to teach today. Hello, can you hear me? If you have nothing to ask, then I'll close. Okay, then I hope that you don't have any question.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bye.